go.
There we go, we've got our first viewer. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PSGL Formula Performance. Not the usual voice you would hear. Today it is myself, Leon, joined by the 7-time champion and PSGL great, Connor or Big C, whatever you want me to call you. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for the nice introduction. Yeah, it's good to be back. FP, obviously, I think it's probably the funnest league, the fun league, Tuesday nights. So, yeah, obviously it's a shame to see you and leave the commentary box, but glad to be doing it with you this season.
Yeah, today is PSFP. Yep, welcome, Jack. If you were looking at the PS4 chat, you would know why I've started it 15 minutes early.
Indeed. So yeah, we're going to do a few interviews. So I'll invite those 5 drivers very shortly. Oh, good to see the former F7 driver Ash in the chat as well.
Yeah.
That's good to see. Who was banned after taking a few drivers.
I had to commentate over that. I always seem to commentate over band drivers.
Indeed. So yeah, just inviting.
1 second for the blue screen, just checking for an invite. No, okay.
There we go. So I've sent the invites out. Aaron, Joel, Lickle, Bugatti, and the legendary JP Greenwood.
There we go. There's one.
Yep, it's always good to see. Good evening, Aaron, Joel.
Evening.
Good evening.
We'll just wait a minute for the
The 3
interviewees to join us as the viewer figures continue to rise. Already at 7 with 12 minutes to 8.
Wowee.
Obviously, the usual pre-season nerves. So yeah, Bugatti has joined as well. Littlebox unfortunately can't join us for the interviews, which is a shame. So we'll just wait for JP Greenwood.
1 second for the blue screen.
That's
Great.
wonderful. So we'll just kick things off once I've sent Ash the invitation. Okay, so Ash Bass been invited. So yeah, a new FB season, the 22nd PlayStation GL season. Now we're kicking off on a Tuesday night, and who better to talk to than Mr. Tuesday Night himself, Joel Yonamanu. Joel, you're back for another season FB. Is this the season you win the FB title?
Oh, Big C, I don't know. I think if it's not this season, it will never happen. So we'll give it a good go, and hopefully I can attend most of them. And we'll give it a good go.
And you got our great teammate Aaron has left F2 to partner you in FB. You'll have his support, his emotional support, and obviously his assistance on track. Will that get you over the line, do you think?
Yeah, me and Aaron have always helped each other on track and off track, and I think this season he could very much be a rear gunner to me, and hopefully see me over the line in situations where I couldn't do it myself in previous years.
Cool. Leon?
No, I really have no questions for you, Joel.
Alright, thank you, Joel. Moving on to, the man, everyone's favourite league director. It's Aaron. Aaron F1, 4th in the F2 Championship last season, but he's decided to join FB. Aaron, everyone just wants to know why if you gave up a seat in one of PSGL's fastest leagues to race an FP.
Because it was one of the worst leagues to race in, if I'm honest with you. Racing an FP is a new challenge. A lot of drivers who I know, a lot of people who I want to race with, but I'm unable to do so because of difference in pace. So it's a good opportunity, a more relaxing league. It's about time I tried something different. So for the first time in a while, I'm actually looking forward to a league race.
Cool. Leon?
I do have actually a question for you. What's it going to be like on Tuesdays now, obviously racing, other than, since you were racing last season? Commentating, sorry. Is it going to feel weird now that you're racing instead of commentating, or?
No, it's just going to be like a normal league race. You know, I've got a combative tool alongside me in terms of Giuliano Manu, and we've got you know, great working relationship, and we've got a great you know, a team, a great brand. You know, Gunda Chunga Unna will be going you know, big places. So we're really looking forward to the season ahead.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, we can move on.
Thank you, Aaron. And obviously moving on to Ash Best, won the FB title several seasons ago. He had a disaster of a season last time up before Christmas. But you know, the Christmas break, the New Year, perhaps Ash is back. No, will he be back? Ash Best, will he be back this season? That's what the fans want to know.
I wish I could say that, but really I can't make any promises. Probably not this season, possibly next season though. Right now, this season I'm just trying to regain my feet from back in the good days of 2017. It just this game has really screwed me over in terms of how it was designed and how tire times were designed. So it kind of just screwed me up. So I just need to find a style of driving that I like, that's quick and that won't basically kill me.
Lovely, Leon.
Yeah, I do have a question. Can I be first driver for this PSGL F1 season?
You're already first driver, Leon.
Okay, that's sorted. That's my question.
Thank you, Ash, for those lovely words. Now moving on to, he's a legendary driver. He's a permanent fixture in the FP League. It's JP Greenwood. JP, no, it was a tough season last time. Only 5 points across the season. Surely, you know, you'll be hoping for more this season, surely.
Well, it'd be hard to do any worse, to be honest, but yeah, I am hoping for more. Obviously, more tracks on the calendar, and I think the tracks on the calendar this season are more favourable to my driving style than there was last season. So I think I do like Bahrain, but I'm not expecting big things tonight. But I'm looking forward to tracks like Baku and Monza racing there this season. So yeah, hopefully pick up some points this season.
And obviously, you know, there's been some changes to the management team in PSGL, which is the stewards team. Onto the podium is now a steward. So, do you think that could perhaps hamper your chances of scoring some bigger points this season if you're involved in a couple of incidents, perhaps?
Well, to be honest, okay, I was involved in one incident last season, but I think in 7 seasons racing in PSGL, 1 incident in that time, I think that's pretty good going. I'm going to be honest. So. I would like to think I'm a reasonably clean driver anyway, so I don't expect to be in the stewards that often. But as long as I'm treated fairly, that's all I ask for, really.
Okay, Leon.
Sorry. Is there anything from last season that you've learned, maybe to try and help you for this season, or are you just going to go with the same mindset as last season?
Well, whenever I go into a new game, I always struggle in the first season. So it's kind of the first season of a new game, a learning curve for me, and I always do better in the second season. Like I said, some of the tracks are more favourable to me this season than they were last season. So yeah, hopefully I should do better.
Lovely stuff. Thank you, JP, for those words ahead of the season opening race. And finally on to Bugatti. Bugatti, the reserve for the season, one of the record 9 reserves for the FP League. Bugatti, you know, you were in the wars in F3 last season. Your FP, you did provide some exciting moments, but you know, are you a bit concerned about your reputation on the site going into the new season? We'll have to move on and get on with the stream. So yeah, thank you.
I am here. I'm not from you.
That's why we're about to hear the question.
Yeah. Not as long as I'm not near. As long as I'm not near an awkward Alienware on track, I think I'll be all right. So I hope I can grow my reputation back and have more Frances, because that was a very fun race.
And obviously, you know, you're only a reserve, so you know, are you racing tonight? That's what the fans want to know. Are you going to be on the grid?
I don't think so. I'll be open comeback, so I think I might be missing this week, but I'll be in the stream watching.
And Leon?
Yeah, I've got one question. Since you are going to be reserve possibly for the whole season, since there are a record of 9. Or how many points, or what do you hope to achieve for the season with the amount of races you may or may not get?
We can go first title, I think. You know, I have to give. I mean, my pace is so superior that I have to give everyone else the advantage. So I can have 3 warm-up season. This season's dominant, so I reckon a top 5 at least in the championship.
Well, yeah, big aims, bit bold aims for Bugatti there. So yeah, thanks to Bugatti and thanks to Ash. Best of luck this evening, Richard. And that concludes our little preview to this season ahead of the 14 race season, which obviously starts tonight in Bahrain, Leon.
Just wanted to say one thing. As it's a new season, just want to thank you two for joining us in the commentary box. A great pairing for commentary, and I just hope you enjoy the season ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
I hope you can find some entertaining action for us.
Thank you.
So now we can move on to hopefully the start of the race in hopefully 3 minutes time. So 1 second for the blue screen whilst I join the lobby. So Connor, with the track being Bahrain, what car would you say, other than the top 3, obviously because they're pretty quick, would you say is the standout for this track?
Yeah, I'd say the Force India, you know, the Mercedes-Benz power unit, a lot of long straight traction zones. Force India's typically quite kind on its tyres. So, you know, whoever's in the Force India, Mr. Grumpy, certainly with his experience, the straight line speed of the Force India. So I think that certainly will be the car I'd want in terms of the midfield car. So yeah, Warren Haig and Mr. Grumpy. So yeah, the Force India, I'd say.
Or, since you were here last season, I think, yeah, you were commentating a little bit last season, I believe, towards the end of the season.
Most of it in the end.
I think most of these drivers were here last season, do you have a person you think could challenge for the title? Since I didn't watch it much last season.
I mean, there's obviously FP's quite a strange league in the sense that it's sort of dictated by the league admins and depends what car you're in. But I think it's hard to look past AMS really again because he's so consistent and whatever car he's in, he tends to pick up the best result possible. But I think in terms of his nearest challenge, I think Abiodun probably is nearest challenge. I think he's obviously got the pace on AMS and probably he's got a worse car tonight. But I think Abi also is very consistent considering how young he is. He drives one a lot older. Then you've got to look at my two friends, the Gundakshunga Unna team, Joel and Aaron, both in the Sauber tonight. You know, both a lot of experience. Aaron especially, his race pace still is fine. I think in terms of his racecraft as well, which will pull him through. So yeah, I think any of those 4 or 5 names could be ones to watch. But yeah, it'll be someone from F1 or F2, I think, across 14 races.
Yeah, either you or I, do you want to go through the teams and their names, or?
If you can, if you got it up.
Okay.
So I've not got it up in a minute.
So, one team is AMS and Abbey. I think it's A&A. Yes, it is. A&A for AMS and Abbey. AMS obviously winning it last season, and Abbey looking very strong. Most likely why he's in the Williams. He can still push for points, possibly even a surprise podium. You never know. As you said, Aaron and Joel, Gundachunga Unna. 2 to also look out for. You obviously know them a lot more than me, so you might know their pace. And then we do have Sutty and Dano, DCFC Racing. Don't really know much about these two. You might do so.
Yeah, I think Dano doesn't really race in any of the main leagues. He's been in FP since F1 2015, I think. So yeah, Dano Gustav's FP, and he's always here. You know, he's one of the true FP greats, really. You know, he's been here for so long.
Next, we have got JP and Lickle, also known as JP Licklewood. We were able to interview JP, so we know what his mindset is. Lickle, fortunately, weren't able to make it. JP, as he said, has got more favoured tracks this season, so maybe he can get more than, I believe it was 5 points last season. And Lickle, we already know, has the potential to be a title contender. Moving on to Tom and Juho Finn. They're called Tomo Finn. I believe that was by AMS. you may know them from last season. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think Tom's in the F2 league. He had a few troubles, but I think that there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of speed in Tom. He just has a bit more self-belief. And Giro Finn, I battled Giro Finn on F1 2012, so very experienced. But he does run no assists, and he tends to struggle a little bit for pace-wise. But I think destroying JP like he did last season should be his name, given they have similar cars, usually in the Mercedes.
Okay, next we've got Ash and A&K, also known as Team Pi or Team PI. Quite a weird name, but anyway. Ash, obviously F1, had a pretty disappointing season last season, to say the least, compared to his F1 2017 run. We already interviewed him. He said he's going to try and find a way to suit his driving style to get back up there, and hopefully we do see him back up there, because it would probably make F1 even more entertaining than it already is. AMK, quite possibly, I think he's an F2 driver. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think he finished 5th or 6th in the standings last season, won one race, a lot of pace, but his tyre wear and his time management isn't great. But yeah, as we go into qualifying, so get through it.
Yeah, I'll try and hurry up then. Next we've got From and Grumpy, Golden Oldies, very recognisable team from GT Sport as well as F1. From F2 driver, or I think he's still F2 driver. Pretty well last season, I believe. I think he finished around about mid-table. And Grumpy just likes to settle in F4. These two could just be a mid-pack team, possibly a few podiums with the cars they get. So we'll find out, obviously, throughout the season. Next, we've got Oogie and Hulk, the Hulkindi Express.
Yep.
I have to admit, that's probably the best name there. Oogie, obviously, F1 driver. He is here today, which is good. He's been a bit off the wire recently. And also Hulk, who's just one of the also directors with you and Aaron. Next we have got Warren Haig and Jack, called Haig Tyler. They get the award for the worst name. Warren Haig and Jack both in F5. Jack needs to make sure he doesn't do what he did F5 a few days ago, which was crash. Warren Haig used to be in F4. I don't really know his pace. I don't know what he's like in FP, so you might want to touch upon Warren Haig. Next we have got Fraggle and Racer, also known as Racer Bliss. Fraggle, you may know about him in FP. I didn't really watch it. And also Racer, who is also an F5 driver, so luckily it's not all everyone in the top 3 tiers or 4. Got a few down there in F5, F7. So it's quite widely spread, which is what we like to see. And yeah, we can start qualifying now, as everyone's on their out laps pretty much.
And yeah, the super soft and medium tyres for this weekend, today's event. I think the soft to medium strategy is the fastest strategy, but the super soft to medium is also possible, so perhaps there'll be some variation. But yeah, Bahrain always very hard on the tyres. Yeah,
tyre wear normally for this, not tyre wear, tyre temperature for this game is usually a problem, but for Bahrain it isn't, so people are mainly going to be focusing on tyre wear. What would you say is the quickest strategy, Connor?
Yeah, I think the soft to medium is the fastest strategy, but obviously super softs will give you the pole position, the better qualifying position, and the ability to just run and clear and also stay out of trouble. So, it's a bit of a balance. Like most tracks, it tends to be a balance of track position at the start or the strategic advantage down the grid. But with 20 drivers on the grid, the first race of the season, a few new drivers, there could be a bit of carnage on that one.
Yeah, I don't know who was first out on track. I want to guess it's Ash.
Not too sure. Someone's booked Jolly on Manu. It's on the medium tyres. I think obviously the lap times to start certainly won't be too representative. We've already got 19 viewers in the chat. So yeah, great viewing figures for the first races. There's already yellow flags out there.
Yeah, it's just because it's set to 3. It's probably people letting other people through. So starting the lap, a bit of congestion in that final sector. We'll stick on board with Julian Manu. Obviously we interviewed him. He's on the medium compound tyre. In the Sauber for this race. Sauber, I think it's a pretty decent car for the circuit. Not the greatest in a straight line, but there are quite a lot of corners which come into the Sauber's benefit. So Julian Armando coming through the middle sector. how difficult, Connor, would you rate this double left-hander here? Because you do see a lot of people lock up and overshoot that corner a lot.
Yeah, I think it's quite a difficult corner if you run no ABS, but if you run ABS and assist, it's quite an easy corner. It's just a normal braking zone to performance. Well, Jolie Onamanu, forget about what assists Jolie Onamanu uses. The man just lives for Tuesday nights. You know, he just performs. You know, in F2 he's quite lackluster, but in FP, whatever car he's given, he tends to perform. He outperformed me in season 20 when we were in the same machinery, despite me being miles faster in equal car. So that, yeah, this man knows what to do on a Tuesday night.
We'll find. Oh, Jack Tyler sets the first lap with a 29.4 on the softs, and I believe it will be Joel next, and he's on the mediums, so don't expect him to be up there with Jack, and he just goes second with a 31.4. But as you did say, or 31.5, sorry. But as you said, these lap times won't be representable yet.
Yep. Next up will be Aaron in the other side, but also on the medium side, so interested to see what he can do in the other side, and it's a 30.5, but Aaron 1 second ahead of his teammate Joliano Manu, but obviously it is very early on at the moment. I think Fraggle Paul will be next up in the Red Bull round the final corner on the soft tyres, Leon.
Yeah, on the soft tyres, he wants to be aiming since he is in the Red Bull to beat Jack Tyler's time, and he's just 1.5 tenths behind us at 29.6. And Ugi Azim goes first with a 28.1. I tried doing an Aaron reference, but we'll skip that.
Azim. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Ugi Azim. You know, Ugi Azim very busy at work. Well, there were a few concerns among many of us that Ugi Azim, you know, perhaps was no longer with us, but thankfully Ugi Azim is back. You know, a busy time at work, busy Christmas festive period, I guess. So it's good to see Ugi Azim back. But look at the bomb, a 29.0 on the medium tyres. So yeah, great out there. But look at that, Leon. Warren Haig leaving the session, and like in every FP race, someone leaves and there's a restart. So you know, deja vu, I guess.
Yeah. It is kind of annoying sometimes, but I guess FP has got one curse.
Also, I think we need to give a little shout out to Freddie Wilson-Warren making his PSGL debut tonight in the Mercedes, currently P4. He was desperate to get into FP, and I'm glad to see him on the grid. So best of luck to Freddie.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else is making their debut today. As Tom AG puts himself second.
Who else is on laps? Aaron's going again, but
AMS.
I think he's about to start a new lap.
Yeah, AMS is coming through the end of Sector 2 now in the McLaren with Ash. He'll be aiming to probably beat the Bomb's time here. Obviously the McLaren is slower than the Ferrari, definitely. But with AMS in it, you never know. Reigning champion.
Yeah. Bit of an understatement there, I think, because the McLaren is also the worst car on the grid in terms of straight line speed. So AMS will struggle to put the car up there, but you know, his ability is there for all to see, and it's 29.2 for AMS Kerr, as he's also known. So yeah, P4 as Sutty takes pole position on a 27.8 on the super soft tyres in the Scarlet Red Ferrari.
Yeah, lap times are dropping now as the Bomb's improved on his mediums. He's done a 28.4, so he's definitely dominating on the mediums wise, and only 6 tenths off pole on the mediums. So we could see him up there towards the end of qualifying if he decides to change tyres, which he most likely will do.
Yeah, I think he will. He's an F5, isn't he? So I think he'll be certainly one to watch. You know, a very good car. I mean, Jack Tyler is an F5 as well as in a Renault, so you know, quite a disparity. But you know, it's very hard to get everyone get a fair car, I do believe. So.
Yeah. Who else is on the lap? Ash Best? No, I don't think. He's in the first sector.
I'm just looking through Jolly man who's found a few tenths on his latest medium lap to close the gap to Aaron to just 1 tenth. So the Gunda Shunga Unna team just a tenth between them. It's currently P10 and P12 on the medium size. But we've got so many top drivers. Look at Mr. Grumpy on an outlap, yet to set a lap time. You know, we sort of see Mr. Grumpy can do. This man has got so much experience, hasn't he, Leon?
Yeah, he's one of the probably been in PSGL the longest time out of everyone, I think.
Well, out of everyone on this grid, certainly.
Yes, out of everyone on this grid, certainly. I don't know about of all time, but he is definitely a veteran of PSGL and always will be. Currently sitting in F4, has been for quite a few seasons now. In the number 89 in the Force India for this race with Warren as his teammate, yeah, for this race, but his actual teammate is
Flying Throne.
Flying
as
from
Bugatti has retired. So embarrassing from Bugatti. I think he just lost it on the entry to the middle set. So yeah, Cliffy put in the chat, here to watch Bugatti retire on lap 3. And he's already out in qualifying. So yeah, disaster for Alfie there. The F3 driver who has a race ban for killing another driver deliberately last season.
Yeah, I actually saw him start his lap. He looked like he was doing quite well on the mediums coming on to turn 1. He did very well, but obviously it's not ended up very well, and as Cliffy said, he will retire, and he has. So he will most likely start at the back of the grid as Warren Haig does rejoin. Hopefully he can get back in his car.
Yeah, hopefully, as Joel continues to find time on the mediums. So yeah, the Saubers are circulating on the mediums at the moment. But yeah, I think Sooty, a great lap time there from Sooty, but I think the Bomb will certainly be the man to beat should he go on the super soft tyres. But even on the softs, I think the Bomb can take pole.
Yeah, let's have a look at Abiodun now. He's actually on a lap on the mediums. I think he's come out pretty late. I think he's trying to get as much clean air as possible since everyone's now coming back into the pits, and he has actually backed off on my screen. Yeah, he has.
Yeah, he certainly has, because he's not used any ERS or didn't use the DRS on that straight. So Liquid Blocks yet set lap, what, a representative lap, or perhaps that is a representative lap, but just the Williams and how slow it is. I'm not too sure.
He is up on his time by 1.5 seconds in the first sector or something like that, so we'll keep on board with him. He's in the Williams, of course, the slowest car. Pretty good in a straight line, one of the best in a straight line actually, but through the corners it is by far the worst, which will obviously affect Abiodun and Lickle here. But these two in the Williams both have the potential.
I couldn't agree. Also, the fastest drivers on the site, as Mr. Grumpy, the experienced Mr. Grumpy, goes P3 on a set of soft tyres. So yeah, Lickle Blocks will be next up, but the likes of Jack Tyler are also out on laps on super soft tyres. But yeah, let's see what Lickle Blocks can do through the final corner in the Williams. Not really using too much air, so interesting to see what lap time this is. And it is P11 on a 29.7 in the Williams, beating the two Saubers also on the mediums.
Yeah, I think in the final sector he did back off. I think he was saving his ERS, so I think he's going for one more, and then he will pit. Oh, as he's gone very wide there through turn 2, and that will be an invalidation, definitely. So we'll most likely see him back in the pits at the end of this lap.
Yeah, next up, Jack Tyler on the super soft tyres as Fraggle Paul goes second in the Red Bull Tag Heuer. He goes second as Fraggle Paul, but Jack Tyler also Renault Power, one of the hottest prospects in PSGL at the moment in the Renault Banana car, and it is P3 for Jack Tyler, 3/10 off pole. So yeah, a decent lap there from Jack, who you know very well, Leon.
Yes, he did actually message me before the race that if he does crash and I record it, he will block me, so I'll try to watch him crash. Azugi Azim is retired. I don't know where he's done that. If we can try and possibly find it.
A disaster for the Rawalpindi Express. So yeah, Ugi Azim already out of qualifying, but you know, the man is very rusty. But you know, Ugi Azim certainly will be one to watch from 4th from the grid as Jolie Manu and Mr. Grumpy do a bit of jousting on the penultimate straight of the lap. I think Joel surely will be pissing for new rubber soon.
Yeah, Abiodun's just finished the lap on the mediums. He's done 29.2. He has gone quickest on the mediums. I think Joel's just started a lap with who is that behind him? Is it Warren? No, it's not. Holcomb. Oh, yeah, it is Warren. No, it's not. Who's that behind him? It's a Force India. It's Mr. Gumpy. Yeah, Mr. Gumpy's backed off.
I'm not sure what Dale's up to though. Interesting why he stayed out. He already set a lap on those soft tyres, so I'm not sure what he was up to unless there was a bit of blocking the lap before. But yeah, AMS was on a super soft lap, but decided to back out of it. So yeah, AMS didn't want to improve on the super soft tyres and remains in P10.
So who's the highest soft run at the moment? It is Mr.
Grumpy.
With the Bomb in, or just behind actually, and the Bomb has just come out the pits, so, and he's on a set of soft tyres, so if he set 28.4 on the mediums, then we can potentially see him be around Sooty's time for pole on the softs.
Yeah. I'm not really seeing anyone too many kills. Like Freddie Wilson's on a lap on the super soft tyres. There's a few medium guys. So I think Freddie Wilson and Warren Haig F1. So yeah, Freddie Wilson and Warren Haig are the two guys on super soft laps at the minute. Warren Haig further down the track.
Let's try and go on board Warren Haig. Let's try and find him. He is coming through the middle sector now, yeah.
Yeah, Warren Egg demoted to F5. You know, he wasn't happy in F4, so the lead directors decided get Warren Egg in F5, see if he can refine his form, find what makes him such a good driver, finishing 5th in the F1 league back in season 14 ahead of Aaron. So Warren Haig does have the credentials, he does have the pedigree, and especially in form performance, Warren Haig can deliver the goods. So it's going to be Warren Haig in the Force India. Vijay Mallya looks on, and it's P6 for Haig on a 28.1.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on the super soft, surprisingly, but that could be just their personal opinion, and the gaps are actually very close. The top 6 separated by just over 3.5 tenths, so this stays like this for the race, and this could be a very good race if they can keep the 3.5 tenth gap between them. Who else is on the lap?
I'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay. Hulkenberger, also one of the directors with Connor and Aaron, is about to start a lap. He is, I think, also in F4. Stayed in there for a while as well. Don't really know about too much history, but he is getting a tow off Froome in the other Haas. Froome also on a lap, so Froome may not know that he's actually carrying Hulkenberger along here. Anyone else closer to finishing a lap? Ash is actually just pitting. Warren Haig is down. I don't think there's anyone else. Oh, the bomb actually. We'll go on board with him as he's coming through the middle sector. I do obviously know him. He is in F5. Well, it's a shameless pub, but you can see F5 every Sunday on this channel. But anyway, as the bomb comes down the penultimate straight, I think he did get a slight toe off the Force India there of Warren Haig, but as he comes around the final corner, he'll be aiming to beat a 27.8 set by Sutty, and we'll see what it is. I don't think it will be, actually might, it's a 27.6 on the soft tyre, and that is provisional pole. There is still 3 minutes to go though, so don't count anyone out yet, but the bomb has gone provisional pole.
Yeah, a very strong lap there from the bomb. I did say those soft tyres with the bomb. You know, he's got the pace, he's got the experience, more importantly, and it's a very strong lap there from the bomb in the Ferrari. But I think Sutty and Dano, the DCFC brothers, I believe, I don't know what the relationship is, but I think they'll be ones to watch, certainly, on the next runs.
Fraggle's now come back out on another set of super softs, so we can see what he will do. He'll be aiming to probably beat the bomb's time as he does run wide on that curb. I don't know if anyone else has experienced it, but I can't remember what corner it is on the outside. There's a curb that does really unsettle the car and does like to launch you, so it is something to watch out for. As Fraggle now is coming onto the DRS straight, that is Mr. Grumpy just getting in the way. That may have slowed it down slightly. He's now coming through the middle sector. He has got the number 1 on the car, but I think that should be going to AMS. But anyways, he now comes through the sector 2 split. To this quite difficult right-hander, easy to run wide. We just take it quite nicely as it comes down the not technical back straight now, but coming down now to the final corner. Drops down into, keeps it in 4th, and the bomb goes to improve. So the 27.6. He didn't improve by much, but what can Fraggle do? Can he equalise back? No, he can't. He doesn't improve.
Yeah, a bit of a pour up there from Fraggle Pub. But yeah, a lot of guys on the soft tyres at the moment. Certainly towards the midfield regions, the Saubers, the Williams cars, those sorts of drivers are on the soft side. I don't think they'll be challenging for pole, but yeah, strategy very important, of course.
Try to find who else is quite close to finishing the lap. Abiodun. Yeah. We'll see what he can do. Can he try and beat Hulkenberger's time? He's a quicker soft runner, I believe. I'm not too sure. He just go 11th. Except for, yes, which is a 28.7, which puts him just outside the top 10. Which I think is quite respectable for a Williams car.
It is. I think Aaron's going to be next up in the Sauber. Anne Hegarty from the Sauber garage looks on the governess, looking over her new 2 drivers for the Gunduchunga Under team. Aaron F1 moving, retiring from equal leagues to fight for perhaps the title in Formula 4. So it's going to be Aaron F1 on the soft tyres, looking to break into the top 10. Can he do it? No, he can't. It's only P13 for Aaron.
I think Aaron may go for another lap. No, he has backed out.
Goodness. Mr. Grumpy's crashed. He's crashed at the end of the middle sector. Mr. Grumpy, the man with so much experience, Leon. is out of qualifying.
Yeah, I don't know what happened because I saw him actually start a lap when like it was Fraggle finished.
Yeah, sorry, took up by JP Greenwood, Leon, is in the top 10. P8 for JP. What a lap.
He's got actually second quickest on the soft tire. Oh, third quickest on the soft tire, sorry. Wow. I know he said he had some favourite tracks in this calendar, but wow, he's able to put himself into the top 10. Someone has just knocked him down to 9th, though, I think. Or did he qualify?
Who else is on a lap out there? I think there's a few drivers. Warren Haig, AMS, no. Who else is on a lap?
Lickle. He's coming around the penultimate. Oh, he's about to reach the final corner, actually.
Yeah, he's 28 up through the mid-sector split. Freddie Wilson and Giuliano Manu are right behind him. So yeah, 3 drivers all on the soft tyres. Looking to, he does run wide, slightly wide, so he could invalidate him there.
Yeah, we'll find out. He does run out of VRS, but will he be? It's a 28.3, and it is a lot quicker than his technical teammate Abbey Oden, but he's in the same car. And,
yeah, next up, Freddie Wilson in the Mercedes on his debut, goes P13, so it's going to be Giuliano Manu. Where did he go? He goes P11. A great lap there from Joel to get best of the rest in terms of tyres. So we get 3 tyre codes from P11.
Oh, Ash Best is about to come across the line. What can he do? 9th place in the McLaren, just ahead of his teammate by 4 thousandths, which is... And Sutty goes pole with a 127.6, just less than 200ths ahead of the bomb, which will frustrate the bomb, but the Sutty will be absolutely probably over the moon with getting pole after round 1.
Yeah, definitely a great lap there from Sutty. So yeah, beating his teammate Dano, who's currently P3. But yeah, it's an interesting top 5 there. Not much, you know, sort of the lower league sort of drivers putting it right up there in the first race. Well, that's good to see. You know, a nice mixed grid, different names. But yeah, it's Sutty on pole with the bomb on the front row.
Yeah, was there anyone in that qualifying session who you didn't expect them to be there? Either they were a bit lower down than you expected, or...
Yeah, I think Aaron, I'm quite surprised. P18, half a second off Giuliano Manu. But perhaps I think Giuliano Manu, as I've said, he is Mr. Tuesday night. He just delivers the laps. So yeah, the gap between the Sauber certainly is quite of a surprise. But I mean, look at that top 5. It's not a top 5 you'd ever see. You wouldn't expect that. So... You know, it's quite unpredictable, and that's what we love about the FP League. You know, you can't expect the unexpected, I guess.
Yeah, actually, the gap between the top 16 it is pretty much 7.5 tenths, which is actually very good for 16 cars. And then you've got Abbey Oden, Aaron, Tom AJ, and Bugatti just outside. But I think if they all set a reasonable lap time, the whole grid will be separated by around about a second, which is very good for a performance league.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So it's Sutty on pole, the bottom second, Dallo, Fraggle, Jack, Oogie, Warren Haig, Hulkenberg, Ashworth, and AMS, the reigning champion. We're adding up the top 10 with Lickle, Joel, and JP Greenwood, the first to get fresh tyres.
Yeah, I think 11th is a pretty good position to actually qualify for, even if it's equal or realistic cars for Bahrain. Obviously your first are the free tire choices, but I think most people, as you said, will go for the soft to medium strategy, unless the other people have already qualified on the super softs.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Let's do a few shout outs on the chat. Good evening to Gaming Alimondo, the Epic Game Up, Foggy, Cablo, Lickle Blocks, QPR Beast, the F2 title favourite, Morris Sky. So yeah, lots of drivers, 20 viewers consistently. So yeah, a great start to the PSGL season, the 22nd. You know, a lot of hard work goes into these seasons during the Christmas break, but it's good to see the fruits of the league directors' labour tonight, and you know, seeing a full grid and a great stream and hopefully a great clean race ahead. Leon?
Yeah, as long as Cliffy's little plan with Bugatti doesn't actually go ahead and he doesn't crash on lap 3, but we will find out as the formation lap does begin. And I have just realised actually, it's a Ferrari 1-2 and a Red Bull 3-4, so which is quite interesting. And then you've got the Mercedes is going for the alternate strategy, so we'll actually check the tyre situation, and I think JP's done quite a weird strategy.
I mean, I think you've got to respect what JP wants. A great start for one. You know, JP on those super softs will be lightning at the start, and you know, he's got the pace. You know, he actually put in a good qualifying lap. You know, usually we see him right at the back with the likes of Chuho Finn, but you know, JP is in the mix. He's coming in the thick of the action, which is what we all want to see. But yeah, Hulkenberg at the highest, well, the second highest for the soft ones. But yeah, I think the favourite going straight has to be the bomb.
Yeah, he's highest out of softs, and Fraggle's been disqualified. No one else has, so could have been for slowing down. Not too sure. The standout qualifying for me would probably be Jack Tyler. He always does very well in qualifying. He does that in F5 also. May still slightly need to work on his race pace and consistency, but for the past few, probably this last season, hopefully carrying on to this season, it is getting a lot better. So hopefully we can see him a little bit further up the grid, challenging for wins possibly here and also in F5. But yeah, we are getting close to the 5 red lights, as I'll go back on board with Sutty.
Yeah, quite a fast outlap I've noticed from the two Ferraris. Obviously the soft tyres will need to be get more temperature into those soft tyres. The super softs will warm quite quickly anyway. So yeah, obviously the softer the tyre, the better the launch off the line. So perhaps Sutty will be hoping that is good his brother or friend, whatever, gets ahead off the line.
So now everyone's just lining
up on the grid for the first time. 14 races this season, stretching from January to April. The second season on different from 2018 game, usually the longest and arguably the best season on the game in the game cycle.
Definitely the most unpredictable since it is the longest. But now as we do get ready, go wait for Bugatti, who is the final car to line up. So as we get ready, I'll go on board from Sutty's POV. So we've got 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And away we go for the PSGL FP start of the season. It looks like Racer's got a very bad start on the bottom. Sorry, Sutty's got a pretty good start. There's a Renault there. Think of Jack Tyler, who's done very well there. He's going to go down the inside. Maybe no, Sutty's quite clear into turn 1. And the bomb has actually been able to keep P2. A bit of RG and bargy stuff in the mid-pack, but everyone seems to be okay for now. Actually, Jack Tyler did jump start.
Yeah, I just noticed that Jack Tyler with a naive mistake, but ultimately quite a clean start, a bit of debris going on, but quite clean so far.
Yeah, people keep changing positions left, right, centre.
Lickle blocks is off, collision with Oogie Azim. I think it was Oogie Azim and Lickle blocks that. Oogie Azim in the wall, so yeah, Lickle blocks down to P20 already, Leon.
Yeah, not a very good start for him as well as Oogie. They've obviously collided. I think Lickle may have wing damage also. JP's not had the best of starts. I think he may have been caught up in it as well. Safety car, yes.
So yeah, the first race of the season, and we've already got a safety car. It was a chaotic, that one with Oogie Azim in the walls. Lickle box down to P20, but we have a safety car already.
One person who I think has to stand out for this half of lap 1 is Bugatti. He did start in last on the medium compound, and he is currently already up into 14th, so he's doing well already.
He is indeed, but Jack Tyler, embarrassing start. A drive-through penalty for jumping the stop, and he's going to have to serve it after the safety car, so he's going to be down in P20. So double bad news as Game Yelling wanted to put it. Embarrassing from Jack Tyler. He said he was feeling nervous, Leon, and I think the nerves have shown.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever done that in PSGL. Had a jump start. He was looking promising for this race. I wouldn't say he looks very promising for anything too well now, since he will have to serve his drive-through after the safety car comes in. One person who is saved by the safety car is definitely Lickle Blocks. I think he may have got wing damage. There's a few people pissing, quite a few actually. So a lot of people I think got wing damage on lap 1. And not having to change the wings.
Very chaotic in the midfield. Oogie Azim, the Rawalpindi Express in the walls. So yeah, a lot of pit stops going on, but it elevates the likes of Aaron, Bugatti, Albion, Ashbest quite high up the order. And obviously these medium guys, I'll be surprised if we can get to the end, but I think the likes of Oogie Azim will certainly try to get to the end.
Yeah, also I think who brought it up, onto the podium actually, said that the super soft runners may be saved, which could be true. I think a safety car lasts usually 3 laps, so they may pit, but I'm not too sure what I would do in this situation, being on the super softs.
No, I'd stay out. If I was on the super softs can do like 8 laps or so, and you go into the mediums. Obviously the safety car means that the super softs should be able to last longer, won't overheat, so it'll be an easy super soft medium run now. I mean, before I think they could have done it anyway, but it certainly makes their life a lot easier.
Yeah, as we now only have 3 drivers on the super softs. Also, Jack is even in more of a bad predicament, because he's on the super soft. So once he served his drive through, a few laps later, he'll have to pit for a new set of tyres.
Yeah, it's been a shocking week for Jack Tyler. You know, he had a shocking F5 pre-season and, you know, a shocking start here in Formula Performance. So, yeah, disaster for Jack. But, you know, he's got a lot of speed, a lot of potential, I'm sure. He'll turn it around. It's a long season as well, so, you know, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at position changes since we know everyone's tyres. So, who's been the biggest gainer? Bugatti's now up into 11th place. So, he's just outside the points already. Obviously, it is only lap 2 and the safety car is out. So, as you said, the super soft runners will be okay, the softs will as well. But thing about the safety cars, the mediums will probably go cold with how slow they're going, because you need for them to warm up. It just take a few laps, and being stuck behind the safety car is not the best thing on a set of mediums.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the types of drivers that have gained positions. AMS, Hulkenberg, Jolyon Manu, Aaron, Tom Agjar. So, you know, they're all gaining lots of position using experience. So, yeah, but obviously a big shout out also again to Freddie Wilson on his debut. 6 positions up, currently P8. So, yeah, Freddie Wilson not nervous and he's enjoying it, I think.
He's doing quite well. Hopefully he can get some points on his debut. That will be perfect for him since does he only do FP? I'm not too sure.
Freddie Wilson, yeah, the only league he's in is FP. That's why he's racing tonight. Hopefully we can get him a full-time seat soon, because, you know, we need these drivers to stay in our leagues.
Jamie's just brought up or the Epic Gamers brought up an interesting question in the chat. Who will be the one who will bin it on the cold tyres? Oh no, Jack! He's going back to worse. He's now hit Dano and it's now been given a stop go. Oh.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a disaster there for Jack Tyler, but Leon, you know all about disastrous races recently, so, you know, how can Jack respond and perhaps try and get his confidence back?
For this race, I know it sounds a bit negative, but you will need to pray for a safety car most likely, because a drive-through penalty, I don't know how long that is, probably about 15 seconds. Safety car's actually in this lap, but yeah, he also has to do a pit stop as well with the stop go, so he'll be quite far down the grid. Hopefully he can gain a few more positions if people do retire, but it's not looking very good for him.
Certainly it's not, but obviously there's not been too many safety cars across PSGL so far, Leon, so yeah, it's going to be an exciting restart, I think.
Yeah, we'll go on board with Sutty, actually. Let's get on board with him. As he controls the pack, I think around this final corner he will put the power down. And he does, and we are going to be green flags now, and Sutty did get away. Oh no, we're not yet. Our race has actually flown off the start, and it's past Sutty before turn 1 by miles. There's Dano in behind. He's going to try and make it 3 wide going into turn 1. 2 Scarlet Red Ferraris and a Red Bull, and the Bomber's taken the lead. Dano in second, and Sutty's had an awful safety car restart, runs wide again. He's now under pressure from AMS, and Hulkenberg has now dropped down to 5th place. Is now on the Freddie Wilson's now on the back of him, in fact. Freddie Wilson goes on is inside, and Sutty's had an awful start from the safety car restart. What do you have to say about that, Connor?
Yeah, a shocking start there from Sutty. Perhaps he's not got his tyres up to temperature. He's got a bit of damage, I'm not too sure, but yeah, the midfield action all going on. Freddie Wilson up to pick up P6, and Ashbear Suz, Jolyon on Manu down the inside, but Joel's got the high ground and he remains in P7.
That's a pretty good start. I don't think there was much contact, and Freddie Wilson and Sutty are battling. They did just switch positions, but Sutty's been able to keep the position. Let's have a look at anyone else close. Abby Oden and Warren Haig. Abby Oden was having a look, but didn't go for it in the end.
So far so good from the bomb. Dano in P2. So you have a look at AMS. AMS closing the top 2 already in the slow McLaren. So AMS flying again in FP, Leon.
Yeah, I did message him actually before this, saying he's got the potential to go for back-to-back titles, and I think he's already going to start to show that, as DRS won't be enabled yet, but he is gaining on that Red Bull. That Red Bull is pretty slow on a straight line. But he does have the toe off the Ferrari ahead. We've also got to watch out for Hulkenberg in behind. But AMS, will he send it down the inside at turn 1? No.
It doesn't matter, because Aaron's about to make the move down the inside of Ashwest. Aaron side by side with Ashbest. His shoulders going to come back Freddie Wilson, so the Sabres are getting feisty out there.
Yeah, they don't really want to mess each other's races up. Ashbest now defending from Aaron again, still side by side. I think Aaron is actually still there. He is still going side by side. I think he will drop back. Yeah, he does. Warren Haig and Bugatti now battling. And Warren Haig just passed Bugatti actually up into 11th place on the mediums. And,
yeah, Aaron down the inside of Ashbest. It's all going on. Aaron using all of his experience. It's 4 PSGL titles. Gets Ashbest out there. That's how you do it. That's how one of the greatest drivers in the history of the site drives Aaron F1 up to P8 on point Ashbest, teaching him a lesson. That's how you do it.
Experience is key in most areas, and I think that may have just been shown. As actually, let's not go ball with him, but AMS on the back of Dano, and Dano's lost 1.5 seconds to the bomb, and the bomb is absolutely flying after that safety car restart.
Yeah, I think it's going to be race over for the race winner, but I think the battle for the podium looks between so many drivers, so yeah, it's going to be all to play for P2, I believe.
Yeah, I think no, DRS won't be disabled jet. I think it will start this lap. We need to watch out for Hulkenberger behind AMS. He will get the very good run. He switches to the inside. Oh, he brakes late. He's gone down the inside of Dano as well. And AMS has been able to capitalise, so has Sutty. Oh, that's gone awfully wrong for the pair of them. Hulkenberger has dropped down a few positions. Freddie Wilson's now taken the position off of him as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite very naive there from Hulkenberger, a very late manoeuvre. So yeah, naivety from the F4 reigning F4 champion in the Haas.
Ashbest has actually just lost the position to Tom AJ, and Firms unfortunately left the session. Do not know what's happened there. Anything else that is going on that people are quite close? Aaron on the back of Hulkenberger. He seems to be flying on them softs. Two
I think Julian Manu is very close to the back of Dano. The Red Bull has no straight line speed. The Sauber with the Ferrari power unit. I think Joel's going to make mincemeat of Dano into the following corner. So yeah, Julian Manu up to B4. He's just relishing the challenge of form performance once again. He's using his experience. He's using his knowledge. The Mr. Tuesday Night. He's a specialist in FP.
Yeah, Dano seems to be struggling now. The super softs. I don't think they'll be wearing out yet, but obviously the softs will be getting better. Actually, we're going ball with Freddie Wilson. Will he go and go for an overtake? No. I think he's going to save it here, and he will have DRS now. I think so will Dano, but obviously, as we do know, the Mercedes is a lot more dominant than the Red Bull. But was that Dano? Sutty and Dano both pit, so they were pitting for mediums. Is anyone else going side by side anywhere? All that was Tom AJ and Ash. Tom AJ's had to keep the position from Ash. Ash seems to be doing pretty okay so far.
Yeah, and the Williams are battling as well. Littlebox and Abiodun as well, as there's 3 wide just ahead.
It was that. Oh yeah, it was Hulkenberger, Aaron and Hulkenberger. Sorry, still side by side. I think you try and keep it side by side. They are slight contact, but no harm done there. And Aaron looks for a switchback. I think they track around the outside. No, he doesn't. He's able to defend the position. Tom AJ, yeah, very close there. I think this could be an interesting battle.
Yeah, the midfield battles are very juicy so far, and there's a car wide. It's a McLaren. It's Ashbest struggling as Warren Haig's going to pass into Ashbest, dropping down the grid into the clutches of the Williams. But there's just so much battling going on, it's hard to keep up.
I know. Bahrain's quite a good track, and Ashbest runs wide again, goes on the curb. Lickle's going to try and look for a move here. He'll definitely get it on the straight. Will he send it down the inside here? He does, and Ash just has no grip from what it looks like, and he's instantly lost the position. And now he's under pressure from the other Williams of Abiodun. I don't think he
sensational move there from Littlebox, showing why he's one of the best overtakers in the business. He pulled off one of the best overtakes I've seen in a long time in another league, and then again, point matters on the season 19 F1 champion. Beautiful there from Littlebox. Aaron on hook down the inside into turn 1. Sorry to say again, but yeah, Aaron using a lot of experience, but Hulkenberg trying to go do the up and under. Aaron has the high ground and has the grip.
Warren Haig's run wide, bit pushing and shoving here going on. Ash and Abiodun are still side by side. Bugatti's there in the background also. Yeah, Abion's back down the inside of Ash, goes over the curb, doesn't get a very good run, and is having to concede the position once again. Hulkenberger and Tom AJ going at it. I can't see what's going on, but Tom AJ has overtaken Hulkenberger now.
Yeah, great job from Tom AJ, struggling for form last season, but a solid performance there so far from Tom.
As Abion has now passed Ash, will Ash go back down the inside? I don't think he will. It's just, that is amazing. There's about 10 cars in the same shot, and it is lap 8, so I know that's been a safety car, but everyone seems to be battling away here in Bahrain, except for the race leader, who is controlling the pace.
Yeah, I think the race win is done and dusted. I'd be surprised if it wasn't, in terms of only if he gets a couple of time penalties, but obviously Bahrain, not very easy to pick up penalties. So yeah, so far so good from the Bomb, but also Freddie Olsen in DRS range of Jolie on a Manu. But I think the midfield action is where it's at. Tom, Hulk and Licklebox look very close.
Oh, Fraggle and Bugatti going side by side now, more wheel-to-wheel contact, but Fraggle's able to get the move done through the final corner, but Bugatti might come back at him. I've got an awful camera angle, but yep, side by side again. I think he's passed Fraggle once again. They're still going to go side by side. Fraggle breaks a lot later. Gets the run on the outside with the traction. They're still side by side, but Gassi's off the track. Oh, more contact. There's going to be 3 wide there with his teammate. Oh, Ugi isn't actually his teammate, but in the same car as him. And yeah, it's not the best for Bugatti. After his good start, he seems to be dropping back down the grid.
Yeah, not great there from Bugatti, but the Torosso is one of the slower cars around it. No straight line speed, and the chassis quite average as well. So yeah, the Torosso boys struggling with Ugi Azim. Not played the game for a while, down in P14. The JP now breathing down on his neck. But yeah, Hulk getting to pressurise Tom AJ, who's in DRS range of Iran.
I don't think I've noticed, but Licklebox and the Williams is about to find himself up into P8 on the back of this battle for P5. So he's on for very good points here as Ash Best loses another position once again.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a shocking performance. Look at the difference between Ash Best and AMS. AMS probably second, Ash Best down in P5. Ash Best just struggling for form again, struggling for pace. He complains about tyre temperatures, but to be fair, the raw pace isn't there, and Bugatti's just right behind him. He looks to lose another position, and it's only lap 10.
Yeah, he could find himself even further down the grid. Obviously pit stops haven't happened yet, but Bugatti's literally all over that gearbox, but he isn't able to get in because of the straight line speed. Ash is actually going to go down the inside of Fraggle here, going to go on board with Bugatti. Fraggle breaks a lot later, Ash does lock up, they do wheel bang, but they're still side by side. More contact, to Bugatti opportunistic, gets the move on Ash. Will he go for it on Fraggle as well? Down the inside, Fraggle does run wide, and Bugatti's going to put himself up into P11 here. Maybe not. Fraggle's still there. So go side by side, and Fraggle's able to keep the position, but he does run wide. And Bugatti's able to get the move. Oh no, he doesn't. They're still side by side. I think he may have to concede it now. Bugatti is just too far ahead. And yeah, Bugatti was able to get the move.
Yeah, Ash Best really struggling with those tyres because Ugi Azim is right behind him. But Leon, the battle between Joel and AMS certainly we want to watch in a few moments' time as Licklebox gets past Hulkenberger up the inside. So yeah, Licklebox using all that raw potential he's got. P7 in the rooms is marvellous.
Yeah, and I think, well, he's on the back of Tom AJ and Aaron as well. We'll go on board with Tom AJ. He's actually 2 steps behind him. Fraggle! Let's go and find out what's happened here.
It doesn't matter what's happened there because Joliano Manu is in DRS range of AMS for P2. Joliano Manu, DRS wide open. I think it's we see you later, mate. And Hegarty looks on as Joliano Manu, car number 21 in the Sauber. P2 Leon for Joliano Manu, the FP specialist.
And yeah, AMS to get an awful run out of turn 1, so I think he'll be able to keep that position now. And if he's keeping that pace, I think he may be able to push for the win if 5 seconds is easily gainable with penalties. But yeah, AMS in the McLaren, not the best car, but still a P3 is very good for the reigning champion.
Yeah, very good so far from AMS. I think the McLaren's a couple of tenths slower than the Sauber, so yeah, Joel certainly showing a lot better than he does in the Monday Night League in F2.
Yeah, I was going to go back on board with Tom AJ, but he seems to have lost a lot of time to Aaron. Also, don't count out Freddie Wilson. Only 1.3 behind AMS, or 1.5 now, so he's not far off the podium.
Yeah, Aaron Solo got a bit of a training going with Tom Agjat and Lickle Blocks right behind Warren Haig. P8 on a set of medium tyres. Could be one to talk later on in the Grand Prix, but yeah, Aaron a little bit of a train at the moment, but the Renault doesn't have the straight line speed really to challenge the Sauber at the moment.
One person to look out in a straight line is Lickle. Yeah, there's a gap to Warren Haig, so I think this is the closest battle right now, and it is, unless Abiodun, who's closing in on Warren Haig, which doesn't seem to be anymore. Got on with Tom AJs, he's now closed the gap to 2/10 on the Sauber of Aaron. Oh, as they both going in? Yes, they are. They're both pitting, so it is now the pit stop phase for the soft runners, as AMS is also pit.
Yeah, so important times, but obviously all these midfield teams are close in the pit lane, so it could easily end up with one driver being held. Perhaps Aaron could lose out in all this, perhaps. So let's see how we could see how it all plays out. Aaron, I don't know if he's been held, but something's not looking right.
Oh, okay, he's teleported ahead of Tom AJ. But he's able to keep the position. Where will they come out? I think, yeah, P12. What was that in the background? Oh, that's Hulk and Dano just literally joining in. Dano's going to try it around the outside of Tom AJ. Jack Tyler retires, and Dano able to get Tom AJ's. Tom AJ's on very cold medium tyres and has been caught out by Dano with an excellent move on the outside of turn 1 there.
Yeah, Dano is on 5-lap old soft tyres, so he's not really going to be a factor in this race. So I think Aaron will probably just let him go because Dano is not really who they're going to be battling. Dano has to make another stop.
Yeah, Hulk is now on the back of Tom AJ. Tom AJ will take a while for his tyre swarm. We'll go on board with Dano though, I think, as he's on the back of Aaron. We'll go on board with Abiodun if he just close up a little bit more to Warren Haig. Once Fraggle has left the session. Got 2 retirements so far of Fraggle and Jack, so 2 retirements isn't what you want to see, but there has been far worse, so that is a positive.
Yep, it is. It'd be interesting for like, so yeah, the Joel and the Bomb do indeed stop for their tyres to cover off the undercut. Well, anyone else decides, but Little Box does not stay out one more lap. Jolly Manu is in. The Bomb gets his medium tyres on, so an important pit stop for Sauber here.
Let's have a look where they all come out. The Bomb should come out. I think he'll come out. Where's Sooty actually? The Bomb will come out just ahead, but Sooty is not far behind. Sooty will have to pit again though, so yeah, that kind of rules him out. Abiodun does pit, which I think could have been strategized by the Williams.
Yeah, side by side, Aaron and Dano. Aaron holds the inside line, but yeah, a bit naive there from Dano. I think Dano expected Aaron to let him through, but no, Aaron says no thanks, and yep, Dano has to run behind.
Aaron currently finds himself in 11th, but there is still 6 cars who haven't pit yet, so I think he'll find himself back up in the points. As a Little Box actually is just within a second of the Mercedes of Freddie Wilson. This could also come interesting because I believe these two are going to box this lap. Oh, we also forgot to mention. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I also forgot to mention that Lickle did pit on lap 1 for a fresh wing. So he's doing very well after his pit stop.
Yeah, he is, and he's. Oh, I forgot to say he was actually on. Yeah, he was on the soft tyre, so he's got 1 lap fresher tyres as they both decided to pit. So yeah, Lickle and Freddie Wilson do pit.
I believe the medium runners will stay out. I think Freddie Wilson did get held slightly. Well, they come out. AMS comes out ahead. And actually, Lickle Blocks has overcut Aaron.
Oh, Hulkenberg with a dive bomb down the inside, nearly taking out Aaron. What is Hulkenberg up to this evening? Sorry to shout there, but yeah, Hulkenberg are going for another late banzai, and he couldn't get the car slowed down. Nearly taking out Aaron, I think. So yeah, interesting driving there from the league director.
I didn't catch it, so.
Jesus, maybe ended in tears. Hulkenberg going to be creaming into the back of Aaron there.
JP Greenwood on the back of Ugi Azim. Both on the same lap of tyre. They both did pit on lap 1. They both did get wing damage. And JP's actually doing pretty well in that Mercedes. He said he's hoping for more points, and he's doing quite well.
Yeah, I think JP's up for it. He said he wasn't expecting too much from Bahrain, but I think a bit of mind games in the interview because we're finding JP is performing very well. I doubt he'll be able to go to the end. But, yeah, but I can hear myself on the neck over Leon. Yeah, so yeah, JP Greenwood, a P4 on the medium tyres. That's the bomb sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a few technical difficulties. Warren Hague disconnected. So are there any other battles going on? That's what I want to see. Any more battles? As Warren Hague does disconnect.
Well, Tom AJ.
Hulkenberger. Yeah, good choice.
As Hulkenberger now pulls to the outside. What will Tom AJ do? He doesn't do anything. Oh, Dano's overcut the corner. Hulkenberger with a switchback. They go side by side, slight wheel banging. Dano's had a really poor exit. What will Tom AJ do? He has got the run. What's happened to Warren Hague? Oh, he did lag out. Then Tom AJ down the inside now at Dano, and I think that could be that is that battle most likely over now. Dano might start to struggle because them softs are going to start to die out now.
Well, I think we need to look about while Ugi Zing was one of the best on the tyres on the grid. So Ugi Zing might actually try to go to the end on these medium tyres. So he will probably inherit the lead. But I think the likes of the bomb will be they're right behind. So he probably won't be able to maintain that, but perhaps be able to get a few points after making that one pit stop.
Yeah, obviously you know him. How good? I know I've heard that he's very good on the tyres, but like. Is he probably the best in PSGL on these tyres, or?
I think he's the best on his tyres that I've ever, known, really. I don't know, you can get 10%, 12% more than me, like a stint, so I'm not sure how he does it, but Ugi Zing was very silky. I know he has his critics, he has his weaknesses, but at least on the tyres, he's just a master at working and looking after them.
There's now a three-way battle actually for P2 between Ugi, JP and the bomb. The bomb will be looking to pass them all pretty quickly. Warren Hague does rejoin. JP just defending the insides. JP's not going to give this position up easily, I don't think. And now Racer, the bomb, he has got another PSN called the Racer. Yeah, he has to sit behind now. And how is the dirty air through this middle sector, especially Bahrain?
I mean, I'm not being funny, but the dirty air on this game's not really that apparent. I think they've nerfed it compared to F1 2017, so I don't think it's too bad. And obviously you can use the dice. I think the bomb will be making light work of JP Greenwood as yellow flags for some bizarre reason. I'm not too sure.
Bomb pulls the inside on JP. Will JP fight it? He does. Tries to stick it around the outside. Oh, he goes on the curb, and that loses him the position. He loses the back end. Oh no, he's out. Oh,
disaster!
Yeah,
disaster for JP. That he was having such a great race. He's one of the drivers of the day. But JP Greenwood, he bit off more than he could chew, I think.
That's just happened. There's now a four-way battle between Warren Hague, AMS, Freddie Wilson, and Licklebox. I've only just noticed upon. As AMS will have
Warren
DRS.
Hague will be making a pit stop very shortly. Yeah, as I expected. Warren Hague does decide to pit.
No, he doesn't. He's tried to bait AMS there. He's baited you.
He baited me, yeah.
Because AMS now pulls to the outside. And Warren Hague's able to defend that position quite nicely. Freddie Wilson's also there. Oh, Grumpy's been disqualified. Interesting scenes.
Very interesting. I think Mr. Grumpy just wants the Red Bull for the next race. So yeah, Warren Hague maintains P6 ahead of AMS and Freddie Wilson. But yeah, the top three are also closing very quickly. So yeah, a lot going on here in Bahrain, the desert, the night skies. It's all kicking off here on Tuesdays in PSGL.
How long, since obviously you will probably know this, how long Warren Hague's actually ran wide. I was about to mention about his tyres and what were going to affect him, and obviously they have. What are the mediums, or what is their last thing around Bahrain?
Yeah, I think if you're starting on Super, you put around lap 8 to the end. But sorry, it's also going on. Warren Haig round the outside of Little Blocks. Warren Haig stuck on the curb as Freddie also now wants a bite of the experience. I've known Warren Haig since F1 2010 as Freddie also goes down the inside, but Haig tries to maintain the ladder as Freddie Wilson just says, see you later, mate. I'm out on that. I've got the tyres and I've got the grip. And Freddie Wilson gets P8 off Warren Haig. But the Force India's just got the straight line speed. Warren Haig isn't giving up, Leon.
Yeah, both Mercedes powers are pretty much equal in a straight line. I think they both have DRS, but Warren Haig does have the slipstream, so he'll be able to pull back ahead. He just switched to the outside. They're pretty much matched in a straight line, so can't really decide. There's also Lickle and AMS just in front. I'll stick on board with these two here, the Mercedes power, a pair of them. They're still side by side. Warren Haig, though, is able to keep the position. Aaron's also there in the background, so don't want to leave him out of the picture, as well as Lickle's actually passed AMS for P5.
Yeah, just got the job done very nicely there from Little Box. Once again, Shangway is one of the best overtakers in the business nowadays.
Yeah, he's currently on course.
Oh, Warren Haig and Freddie Wilson. I think Freddie Wilson just hit the back of him. Warren Haig struggling for grip, and I think Freddie Wilson's got wing damage. Disaster for Freddie Wilson as Aaron F1's going to be now getting a bite of the cherry, a bite of Warren Haig and Freddie Wilson.
Oh, I didn't see what happened. I just saw what's happening now, and also Tom AJ's now here, so this may hamper Aaron, possibly, as Warren Haig pulls to the inside again. Aaron down the inside. It's now 3 wide. Can Aaron get it? And that is an amazing double overtake. He's got them both, and Tom AJ. They're now 3 wide going up the hill. Oh, and he's done it as well.
It's all kicking off, but what a move from Aaron F1. He might not have had my speed over the years, but in terms of racecraft, Aaron F1 is the go in terms of racecraft. Sensational. But I think Tom AJ as well, the balls of the man around the outside there. Warren Haig came off worse, but Tom AJ, what a move as well.
Yeah, Warren Haig actually spun after the contact with Tom AJ, I think, through that corner, which is unfortunate, but I think his tyres have given up as Bugatti and Dano pit, and so does Warren Haig.
Yeah, I just had to take a drink, just absorbing it as Aaron and Tom AJ putting sensational moves. Some of the racecraft this evening has been breathtaking. It's been an honour to watch it with you, Leon. I think some of the breathtaking manoeuvres.
Yeah, Bahrain, not the easiest track to overtake except for a straight line, especially up the hill and through that section, as Aaron and Tom AJ was able to both pull off a double overtake. Both breathtaking. Hopefully they can continue that excellent racecraft now as they're now battling each other.
Yeah, as Warren Haig has a little comment after he felt what the WTF just get bashed about, he says. So yeah, a shame there for Warren Haig, but I think he was just taught a lesson, I'm afraid, in how to get past by Aaron, the 3-time F1 champion. Tom AJ performing very well. He's had his critics, but Tom's been really impressive this evening.
Yeah, if you can carry this on for the remainder of the season, he'll find himself in the points like he is now. I think he'll comfortably get points so far. As Tom AJ now will be setting up a move on Aaron down the straight. Also Abion's on the back of Freddie Wilson, but we'll keep on board with this battle. Tom AJ breaks late, but won't make a difference, and I think Tom AJ will pass Aaron here down the straight.
Yeah, I think Freddie's going to pit because he's got damage at AMS and Little Blocks, but the McLaren doesn't have the straight line speed just yet.
Will Aaron give this up as easy? I don't think he will. Tom AJ down the inside. Aaron's going to look for the switchback, and he doesn't actually get it. And that Sauber's not the quickest in the straight line, so I think Tom AJ may be safe for a lap.
Yeah, Aaron is a big fan of Tom AJ, so I think he gave him a little bit more respect there. But yeah, Tom AJ, as I said, performing beautifully this evening.
As Marcus just said in the chat, Lickle getting a podium in the Williams would be incredible. Which is possible. We know Uki's very good on his tyres, but lasting them pretty much the whole race distance is incredibly difficult, and I personally don't think he'll make it, but...
No, but I think if anyone can, Ugi Azim can. So yeah, Ugi Azim currently, he's got a 6-second lead to Little Block, so I think it'll be lap 25 onwards where he will struggle. As we've got a bit of team radio from Mr. Grumpy after his retirement. He says, still some idiots racing in here, I see. So Mr. Grumpy venting his frustration. The most experienced driver ever. Not happy.
Yeah, Jack Tyler's actually left, so we'll find out what happens after. AMS now back on the back of Lickle again, but obviously it is a Mercedes power versus Renault power. But the McLaren is gaining. I think he might pull to the outside here. He does. Will he brake late? Lickle does leave in the room. AMS looks for the switchback. Oh, we were still there. And I think Lickle's going to be okay unless AMS does dive down here. He's going to try it around the outside, I think. He brakes a lot later. He's going to have to grip on the outside of the corner. Lickle's going to have to leave him room. He doesn't leave him much. Puts him out on the curb. Got a pretty good helicopter shot here. As Lickle does keep the position. But AMS is definitely on the back of his tail as he comes now down the side. I don't know what his corner name is. But Lickle looks for the switchback. On excellent switchback with the traction. It's actually an excellent helicopter shot. And Lickle's able to regain the position.
Yeah, stunning racing there from the two F1 drivers. Beautiful driving there. You know, it's all kicking off as the Rawalpindi Express continues to run on in P2 for Ugi Azim, the star of the show, as Alimondo does ask. Did he pit under the safety car? Ugi Azim did indeed pit under the safety car. So yeah, Ugi Azim looking to go to the end of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, he is now losing time quite dramatically to the bomb anyway, but the bomb is quite dominating this race. But Juliana Manu is within a second of Ugi Azim, so we'll keep an eye on that. AMS though.
Ashbest picks up a time penalty as well. Sorry, embarrassing from Ashbest once again. A disastrous performance. P12 with AMS is currently P5. So very strange to see the disparity in performance. Your teammate, of course, Leon Ashbest in F1.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about F1. There's another yellow flag as Warren Haig is now fallen victim to the retirement. Was doing quite well until the bashing, is what he said in his words, with Tom AJ and I think it was Freddie Wilson. Pretty good race, but obviously unfortunate with what happened there. Well, actually, Juliana Manu, he's gone forward with him. 3 tenths behind Ugi. I think Ugi's starting to get really big problems on their mediums.
Yeah, I think, but as I said, Ugi Azim, I don't think he's going to try and aim for a podium, but I think points are possible. It just depends how big the drop-off is and how much time he begins to lose. But the grid is quite close, so he could easily drop outside the points if they do drop off. But like I said, Ugi Azim can handle it if he doesn't get a puncture.
Yeah, and as Mark said a few minutes ago, Lickle is on course for a podium, definitely. Second or third. I think he's on the cards, but also AMS will try and spoil that as well.
But yeah, I think Johnny Manu, Ferrari power against Honda power. I think it's going to be an easy move for the Northern Irishman. Currently on for Peter's Ugi Azim. Yeah, I don't think he's got the tyres. And does indeed decide to pit for himself. Super soft tyres. So it's my old teammate from season 20, Giuliano Manu in the Sauber Ferrari on for the podium. Of course, Lickle blocks in a Williams. Currently P3, but AMS is just right behind as well.
Yeah, Ugi will come out. I think he'll actually. Oh, he might be able to get points. He'll come out just behind Sutty. Yeah, he can still get points, definitely. Yeah, we know Ugi Azim will be able to get points.
Yeah, I think Ugi Azim will, but I mean, just look at the tops. Look at all the drivers in the top brackets, except from the bottom. It's all F2 and F1 drivers. I think they're just showing. It's not about speed, but it's all about quality, experience, and getting through the race cleanly. I think the Saubers, especially Lickle blocks, very impressive. Of course, AMS, the reigning champion, showing why he's an FP. You know, one of the best drivers in FP we've seen in the history of the site.
Yeah, like as you said, F1 and F2 round pretty much the whole top 10 out. And then you've got an F5 driver leading by more than 10 seconds, which, if you think about it, is quite unreal.
It's very remarkable. His fastest lap is 1 second quicker, or faster than Giuliano Manu. So yeah, I think the bomb has been impressive, but let's be honest, we won't be seeing him in a Ferrari anytime soon after tonight.
No, I don't even think. I think he may be getting maybe a Renault or something like that for the next race, and then it'll be a bit more of a challenge for him. AMS seems to be struggling now to keep up with Lickle, same with Aaron. Aaron's just been able to keep within a second of Tom Age every lap, and this race is eventually dying down with only 5 laps to go.
Yep, that is what we like to see, a bit of calm before the storm, perhaps at the end of the Grand Prix. But yeah, certainly the battle for third place between Lickle and AMS could be one to watch, and obviously Aaron and Tom are out for P5. But yeah, further down, let's talk about Abu only P7, Bugatti P8 for the back of the grid, Hulkenberg P9. Some over-optimistic dive forms at times from Hulk, but yeah, P9 for Hulk, and Sutty P10 after his disastrous first stint after the safety car.
If you were to give a driver of the day, I know there's still 5 laps to go, but if you were to give a driver of the day, who do you think you would give it to?
I think considering the car he's in, I think Lickle Blocks, he's performed some beautiful manoeuvres. Johnny Manu has been very impressive, but I think Lickle Blocks in the Williams is a horrendous vehicle. So yeah, I think Lickle, then maybe Joel. AMS also deserves a bit of credit as well.
Oh, also Tom AJ started in 19th.
Oh yeah, definitely can't forget. Yeah, I did say he had a tough year last year in F2. He went from F5, winning F5 quite comfortably, going to the cesspit that as F2 struggled emotionally at times. Left 4 or 5 times that season, but you know, he's back. A new year, a new Tom, and you know, he's been magnificent. So I think he's someone we need to speak to afterwards.
Yeah, well, obviously with the podium interviews, we can kind of get anyone we want in here. But obviously we'll get the top 3 and maybe a few more. But yeah, still, it's actually Bugatti's closing on Abiodun now, so they've got another battle.
That's good as Uki Azim. The Rawalpindi Express, as Aaron famously nicknamed him, sets the fast out of the Grand Prix, looking to get that final point as there's a bit of a beef, typical FP beef in the chat between JP Greenwood and Flying Throne, a bit of context. So perhaps the stewards, we're having a late night onto the podium in his first shift as steward. We'll certainly be looking forward to that, I think.
Yeah, I think, as we said before the race, we talked about onto the podium to JP. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I think obviously onto the podium, people hate him, people like him. Obviously as a steward you can't be biased at all, so hopefully he has a respective judgment if he does hand out anything. I don't know.
Yeah, don't worry. Me and him decided to go with onto the podium. You know, we choose the best and most qualified people. To be fair, I think as Wako put it beautifully, anyone can be an admin, or not anyone can be a steward. You know, there will be certain criteria, certain requirements. I think onto the podium certainly fits that as Bugatti. The F3 man who's got a race ban for Bahrain on Sunday looks to close in on the F1 driver Abiodun. Bugatti's certainly an F2 caliber driver. He's got a lot of pace, he's got a lot of potential, he's got a lot of fire in his belly, and as he looks to get P7 off Abiodun, Leon.
Yeah, as you said, race ban not going to help his season in F3. I think he's in F3 this season, isn't he?
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. Not going to help start his season. Oh! I think that's a legal overtake. I was going to say anything, but yeah, Abiod with a little bit of back end wobble hits Bugatti off. Is Bugatti going to give the position back? Yeah, he does. As actually Bugatti gets a really good switchback, and they're going to stay side by side. Oh, more contact. They're still side by side. Oh, this isn't going to end well. I just don't have a good feeling about this. I mean, with another switchback, I got another amazing helicopter shot, but. Not as clean as the Lickle and AMS one, I have to say. They're still side by side though, so credit to them. Oh, and that was inevitable, yeah.
Yeah, disastrous driving from those. I mean, it was quite nice. Well, I think Hulkenberg deserves that. P7 for Hulk, Bugatti P8. Sutty's going to get a few extra World Championship points. But yeah, naivety. Embarrassing driving, to be honest, for both of them, in my opinion. Both as bad as each other. Not giving enough room, acting like petulant children that they are, unfortunately.
Yeah, that helps Ugi as well. Ugi can possibly get P7 here now, so there's a yellow flag.
I think it was Ash Best once. He was going very slowly.
Yeah.
Well, I think P7, P8, P9 and P10 it's going to be 4 arrests at some point. But yeah, Bugatti will be looking to make amends, atone for his sins.
I've got an awful camera angle. Let's try and switch. There we go. Sutter on the back of Hulk. Ferrari versus Ferrari power. You just dive it down the outside. Then they've both gone very deep. Bugatti, the 3 wide here, going into turn 2. Bugatti's gone straight off and through about 14 advertisement boards.
I think Ugi got damaged, so yeah, it's all kicking off between these Torossos as Sutty goes down the inside of Hulk, pushes in wide and gets the job done. Sutty up to P7 or P8.
Yeah, I've got a feeling 2 of these drivers, or possibly more, there's going to be a collision.
Yeah, I think Bugatti's lost his head a little bit. He's a very aggressive, he's a young man, but I think, you know, he's had enough. he's got the fire, and he just wants to put on a show this evening.
Yeah, Ugi though, down the inside, more contact between the Toro Rossos. Also want to watch out for AMS and Lickle. AMS have been able to close that gap, so there could be a battle towards the final lap there for P3. But yeah, we'll stick on board with this now 5-way battle as Abion's been able to rejoin. Hopefully Bugatti and Abion don't collide again.
I think we need a bit of controversy, a few talking points. Bugatti and Abion putting a bit of drama, but yeah, as Cliffy says, he's lost his head.
I think Bugatti's going to go for it on Ugi. Ugi does defend. Oh, but Abion in the background, this is going to be 3 abreast or 4. I don't know, but Abion's going to get a really good tow here. He's in the quickest car out of all of them.
Ugi is even praying as they go forward into tow and
Abion's on his side. He's overshot the corner. Bugatti. He's got them all. Abion's just cut across the grass.
Hulk was leading and he just lost all the positions.
He's dropped down to 10th.
Mugged off.
He's now going to drop out the points. He's now been dropped out the points by Abiodun. He's actually able to keep the position. Yeah, he's back in the points, but yeah, from leading the pack to now at the back.
Yeah, I think Hulk's back. This is what F1 drivers are like nowadays, I'm afraid, Hulk. This is what it's like in the top tier. Dive bombs galore. That lack of respect for an experience or like Hulkenberg down to P11 on for no championship points, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think he might try and get it back though, because if Ugi hasn't got any damage, just put on board with him. Yeah, gap now. Sutty's been able to get away, so has not Bugatti, but Bugatti and Ugi be able to get away. Ugi has a wobble. Where's AMS actually? AMS on Lickle as they start the final laps. Could get interesting.
What was the final lap already? It's flown by these last few laps. It's great midfield action.
Yeah, I think AMS is too far behind. This race or this podium will come down to penalties. Also, Tom AJ. If it goes down to penalties,
from Tom AJ, but yeah, AMS quite quick off the corner. But Little Bots has got a lot more electrical power. Will AMS live up to his Valtteri Bottas name, and he cannot get close enough to make a move. He's got yellow flags again. Someone lower down in the order. I think it's Ashbest. Who's for that? Best is closely on.
Yeah, AMS, he's going to try and run outside. I think Lickle is struggling. He's got the run. They're going to go side by side. No, now. No, Lickle's able to defend. Lickle does quite well there. AMS, though, he's got a very good run again. He's using a lot of his ERS, but as you said, Lickle's got a lot of it. All AMS do, he tried to go around the outside. He can't really save it for the straight. The McLaren's really slow there. He's just trying to make a move here, where the Williams is most vulnerable, but no, he's not able to do much there. He's got a very good run. Racer actually won, or the bomb, sorry. Completely forgot about that. But yeah, he does win this race. Joel may get second, not too sure. AMS isn't going to be able to get it. No, he's not. Joel will finish in second place, possibly. What about penalties here? It will stay as it is. So Lickle does get a podium in the Williams, which is remarkable.
Yeah, stunning drive there from Lickle. The tyres at the end look finished, but he just managed to fend off AMS. Tom AJ also brilliant in fifth. Aaron Sutty, Bugatti, Ugi Azim, and Abiodun in P10. But I think there could be a few stewards' inquiries to come.
Yeah, the final few laps may keep the stewards busy for a few hours, especially as the final few runners are crossing the line, and Ash is the last one left. Very disappointing race. Hopefully this doesn't happen in F1. I don't really want to carry him along.
Yeah, Ash, but let everyone just look at him. Let's just look. Shocking.
Well, this is the back end out of the final corner.
From Ashbest. You know, will he ever be able to recover his form? That is the question.
I think he will do one day, but it'll take him a while.
Definitely on, but an exciting Grand Prix there. The Bomb in a league of his own, but Lickle, AMS, and Jordan Amadou, star performer. So yeah, the podium celebrations.
Yeah, Scarlet Red Ferrari. Was it just like the real Grand Prix? I think, yeah, it was. Ferrari did win, technically last season now.
And it's the champagne! Oh no, the rose water, isn't it? But whatever, the champagne, we can pretend. We have done to the top 3 here in FP. So you can take us through the results while I'll invite
Yeah, I'll get them up now.
people.
Oh, well, are you serious? My stream's just... I've got blue screen.